So today we will take the topic which is related to the environmental issues. So in today's topic we will take, as per your note, a garbage disposable. Clear? What is the meaning of garbage? Everything waste material which released from the household activities called garbage. Clear? Lifestyle have resulted in the accumulation of large amount of waste material, and these waste material are known as the garbage. Clear? Next is the types of garbage. As per your NCERT, garbage of two types. First, biodegradable, and second is non-biodegradable. In biodegradable garbage, that means the substances or waste material which decompose by the action of microorganisms. Means when the microorganisms like bacteria and the fungi, these are the two microorganisms which are known as the saprophytes. They act on the substances and convert into the simplest form. That time the term is called biodegradable substances. So biodegradable substances are not harmful for environment, like fruit and vegetable peel, cotton, jute, and these are some example of biodegradable substances. It is a very common definition. Next we take the non-biodegradable substances. Now in non-biodegradable substances which cannot be decomposed by the action of microorganisms, means the microorganism unable to decompose it, unable to break into the simpler components, that time the substances or waste are called non-biodegradable substances. And non-biodegradable substances are harmful for environment, like plastic, polythene, metals, synthetic fiber, radioactive waste, and pesticides. All are non-biodegradable substances because they were unable to convert into the simplest form or decompose. So it is a non-biodegradable component. Now in non-biodegradable components, the microorganisms release the enzymes which decompose the material, but like enzymes are specific in their action, so that why the enzyme cannot also decompose all material. Clear? So they are called non-biodegradable components. Now method of waste disposal. So last line explained that the enzyme action of all decomposers is different. So they were unable to decompose all components. So we use it into the recycle or reuse. So in case of recycle, the following terms as per in your NCERT, which is the biogas plant and sewage treatment. In biogas plant, the biodegradable waste can be used in the biogas plant to produce the biogas and then manure. After the long time decomposition of these biodegradable wastes, they produce the gas which is called biogas, and also the waste material produced in the form of manure, which is utilized in the agriculture field. Other is a sewage treatment plant. The rainwater can be cleaned in the sewage treatment plant before adding it into the river. These sewage treatment plants contain some chemicals and then some microorganisms which are bacteriophages, and these bacteriophages remove the waste material which present in the sewage water. So it is called sewage treatment process. So in sewage treatment process, all drained water can be cleaned in the sewage treatment plant with the help of chemical and then some microorganisms. Clear? Next is compositing the organic waste material are filled in a compost spit and convert it into the layer of soil. This technique is generally used for the garbage like leaf peel, fruit peels, vegetable peel, and other components which are bioorganic components. It introduced into the earth, and then after long time process, they convert into the manure and some other useful component of plant. So it is a compositing process in case of decomposition of waste. In next, which is reuse, recycle. In this technique, the some non-biodegradable components again used by the human being. So that time the term used is called reuse. Recycle means non-biodegradable contents such as some waste are recycled to make the new item. So that time it is called recycle. तो इन सारे कंपोनेंट की हेल्प से, इन सारे प्रोसेसेस की हेल्प से क्या हो रहा है? इन सारे प्रोसेसेस की हेल्प से we just clean our environment. So a very simple topic which related to your NCERT. The NCERT related topic is simple. Now we take the complete revision of this chapter with the help of notes. Clear? कुछ टॉपिक मैंने क्लियर कर दिए थे नोट्स की हेल्प से. स्टार्टिंग में आपके दिए हैं, देखो, these are the industrial solid waste, chemical waste, farm waste, crop residual dung. वेस्ट को दो में क्लासिफाइड किया है, बायोडिग्रेडेबल, नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल. क्लियर? बायोडिग्रेडेबल के बाद में हमने टॉपिक किया था इकोसिस्टम, विच द सिस्टम विच कंसिस्ट बाय द बायोटिक एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट आर कॉल्ड इकोसिस्टम. आफ्टर देन ecosystem के types, which is natural ecosystem and then artificial ecosystem. In natural ecosystem कौन-कौन से हैं? These are the terrestrial, aquatic, terrestrial ecosystem, which are the grassland ecosystem and desert ecosystem. Aquatic pond, lake, river are the aquatic ecosystem. In aquatic ecosystem, the artificial ecosystem, which are man-made. Okay, so all explained in previous classes. Next is the structure of an ecosystem. It is consist by two parts, biotic and then abiotic factor or component. In biotic component all living, and in biotic component all non-living parts involved in the abiotic component. They are non-living substances and the factor, ecosystem, climatic factor, edaphic factor, topographical factor, all are involved in the abiotic factors or component of an ecosystem. Biotic factor के बारे में हमने डिस्कस किया था. They are producer and then consumer. जितने भी living organisms हैं, like plant, animal, microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, all are involved in the case of a biotic component. तो बायोटिक कंपोनेंट का हमने अलग अलग बेसिस पे क्लासिफिकेशन किया था ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ ट्रॉफिक लेवल. तो यहाँ पे ये जो न्यूट्रिशन लेवल है, न्यूट्रिशन लेवल भी लिख सकते हैं यहाँ पे और ट्रॉफिक लेवल भी ले सकते हैं. तो ट्रॉफिक लेवल के बेसिस पे हमने इसको क्लासिफाइड किया था. दे आर प्रोड्यूसर, दे आर कंज्यूमर. नंबर वन प्रोड्यूसर, सेकेंड इज कंज्यूमर. प्रोड्यूसर generally because they produce the food for other organisms. So all green plants involved in the case of producer. तो जितने भी green plants हैं, इनको बोलेंगे हम producer, because green plant contain the chlorophyll and also use the process which is called photosynthesis. और photosynthesis से ये क्या बना रहे हैं? Food बना. So that's why they are called producer. And blue-green algae, which is BZA, also produce their own food. So they are also called the producer because it is cyanobacteria, also contain the thylakoid membrane, which involve in the formation of food by the process of photosynthesis. So other components involved in the biotic factor which are consumer. All are involved in heterotrophic bacteria. These bacteria is responsible for utilization of food product from the other sources. Clear? So they are called decomposers, and they are called consumers. So consumer involve all heterotrophic animals like other than green plants and clear. So on the basis of food, which type of food used by the consumer, they can be divided herbivorous, animal which directly feed on the plant. That means the organism which utilize the green food or the food obtained from the plant, they are called herbivorous. Second, the carnivorous, the organism which utilize food from other animal, they are called carnivorous. Frog, wild cat, ये सारे जितने भी हैं वो कार्निवोरस है. ओमनिवोरस में वो आएंगे जो प्लांट को भी फूड के फॉर्म में ले रहे हैं, एंड देन आल्सो यूटिलाइज द other animal for food. So they are involved in the omnivorous. Involved in the parasite means the type of organism which utilize other organisms prepare food. They are involved in the parasite. So bacteria, fungi, viruses, small animals, and some plants involved in the case of parasites because they depend on other organisms for food. So they are called parasites. So parasites also member of an ecosystem. After parasites, the decomposer are the bacteria, virus, because they decompose the organic material or the biodegradable material into the simplest form. So they are called decomposer. Decomposer also known as a scavenger of earth, also cleaner of earth, because they decompose the or waste material or biodegradable dead materials which present in a forest and other areas. So they are called decomposer, scavenger, or earth cleaner. Clear? So they are called decomposer. Next, we take the functioning of an ecosystem, how ecosystem working or functioning. So functioning of an ecosystem with the help of food chain, types of food chain, forest, grassland ecosystem, and other food chains. So it is a forest ecosystem food chain, grassland ecosystem food chain, aquatic food chain. In forest ecosystem food chain, the producer are tree, deer, and then lion. Here, so tree involved in the producer, deer involved in the primary consumer, and then lion involved in the secondary consumer. So it is involved in the forest ecosystem. The grassland ecosystem, grass, insect, then frog, and then snake, and the last member is a hawk and then kite. So it is a grassland ecosystem food chain. In next, energy flow. In which the producer at first place, second is the herbivorous, carnivorous, and then omnivorous involved in the case of the energy flow. 10% rule of energy. 10% rule of energy flow, in which only the 10% of energy transfers from one trophic level to another trophic level, and remaining 90% energy utilized by the individual for different activities. So it is 10% rule of energy. Next is it is the trophic level and then different food chain. Next term, which is biomagnification and cultural eutrophication. Two topics. First is the biomagnification, second is the cultural eutrophication. And then ecological pyramid. So now we take the biomagnification and cultural eutrophication. So in first, which is biomagnification. This topic is related to the water pollution. When plants introduced with pesticides or insecticides like DDT and others, now it transfers with rainwater water body like river and pond. Now from water body, it enters into the aquatic animal. Now we can say from aquatic animal to human and other terrestrial animals. Now DDT is introduced into the plant soil. It mixed with the soil, and during the time of rainy season, it travels from crop field to the water body. Now DDT is introduced into the or mixed with the water body. When this water used by the animal, especially aquatic animals, DDT enter into their body and then join with the cell cytoplasm. After then, imagine the aquatic animal as a fish, utilize the water which contain the DDT. So DDT transfer into the fish body. Now the fish used by the human being as a food. So that time DDT transfer into the human body. So that time each and every level DDT increase their number of trophic level, increase their organism. That time the term or condition is called biomagnification. So the term biomagnification clearly explains that the some material which increase their trophic level, which increase their trophic members or organisms at every ecosystem level. So it is a producer. So in producer, it is introduced DDT. Now it transfer into the abiotic system, from abiotic to consumer. We can say it is a primary consumer, from primary consumer to secondary consumer, and secondary to top consumer. The term is called biomagnification. So again, repeat the term biomagnification about the concern of pesticide and some harmful chemicals, which start from producer. Now from producer, they travel with the help of abiotic components and then transfer into the primary consumer. In primary consumer, they enter into the cell cytoplasm, and then after the cell cytoplasm, they enter into the secondary consumer, and from secondary consumer to top consumer. So every time they increase their trophic level, that time they are called biomagnification. So biomagnification is the cause of water pollution. Next is cultural eutrophication. The same way, when the plant is introduced with the nutrients or fertilizer, like urea, it introduced into the soil, from soil to it enter into the or mix with the rainwater, from rainwater to it enter into the water body, then from water body to from water body to it increase nutrition level of water body. So high nutrition level leads to growth of some lower organisms like algae. So algae that time increase their number. So the term is called cultural eutrophication. So cultural eutrophication means the process by which the nutrient level increases in the water bodies due to excess introduced the fertilizer in soil. The term is called cultural eutrophication. Now, cultural eutrophication is also cause of water pollution and have two aspects. First, increase in nutrition level. Second, increase the BOD, which is called biological oxygen demand. And third, also responsible for algal bloom. So these are the three topics related to the cultural eutrophication. So two topics related to the air pollution: biomagnification, and second, cultural eutrophication. Next is the ecological pyramid. When we arrange all organisms, or biotic components in this way, that we obtain graphical representation. The structure is called ecological pyramid. We can take example of ecological pyramid of number, in which producer, primary consumer, then secondary consumer, and third is the tertiary consumer. So we obtain the graphical or pyramid-like shape or representation. This is called ecological pyramid. So in ecological pyramid, the first member in the base is called producer. It is the highest number. Second member is called primary consumer. Third member is called secondary consumer. Fourth member is called tertiary consumer. So it is called ecological pyramid. So in next class, we will discuss about the types of ecological pyramid, then advantage of ecological pyramid in an ecosystem. Yes, again, repeat the definition of ecological pyramid. Number one, when we arrange all organisms or biotic components in this way that we obtain the graphical representation, the structure is called ecological pyramid. Graphical representation or pyramid-like structure, that time it is called ecological pyramid. Ecological pyramids are of three types. Number one, organism number. Second is biomass. Third is energy. So three types of ecological pyramids.